Next is Blacks, right? Yeah,
Okay,
please.
yo, what's up, everybody? So, why do we care if white people become a minority? Who gives a fuck? That's my main question.
Probably
Like,
white
who
people
cares?
should.
Why? I don't give a fuck if I'm a
Why?
minority. Like, what does that do?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a minority,
We had a
what
whole
you think
30-minute
minorities are treated
conversation about
okay?
Not good to
Well,
be a
white
minority
people are
anywhere,
treated
ever.
okay. Do you think the second it drops to 49%, people are gonna be like, ah, fuck all the whites, cracker,
It's already
cracker,
happening and
cracker?
we're still the majority, so yeah.
Who
Yeah, you
cares?
missed a lot of the conversation.
Who cares? Yeah, let's just roll the dice and see if like we're gonna all be fucked when this happens. If we're already seeing signs when we're the majority.
Well, okay, how are we
it's not gonna go
How
well.
are we getting fucked right now? How are we getting fucked?
It's
right
all
now?
literally already
Okay,
happening.
okay,
with white people
explain.
being
Give me
fucked.
an example. I'm not
Okay,
disagreeing.
like,
I
there
just
was an
want
actual
to know.
example of like where COVID people they're doing it by race as well, like COVID treatment and shit.
They're
There
doing
is fucking
COVID
a lot of
treatment by
examples
race?
of this.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah.
Elaborate.
Okay. Let's elaborate on the COVID example.
Do you want me to send
Yeah.
a link? I can send a link.
Well, can you
Hold on,
like
let me
explain in like layman's terms,
you
like really quick?
sum it up in
I'll trust
2
your source. I'll
sentences?
trust your source. I just want to
Let's
like.
do the link. No, we're gonna do this. You want
What?
to do this? We'll fucking do it.
What? I just want to know.
I don't think
why-
he's doubting your. I don't think he's doubting your source. He wants to know exactly like how.
Yeah, like
they're
what
doing
does your source
treatment by
say?
COVID.
Can you explain what your source
And you want me to
is?
read the source? So
playing-
New
we're
York
playing
City-
Power Wash
you don't
Simulator,
have to
so.
you don't have to say it word for word, but just like generally,
Oh, they're saying
what
New
is the
York
COVID
City will
discrimination going
consider
on?
race when distributing life-saving COVID treatments. There's just like one example, by the way, but like I'm just telling you that like things like this happen already, where white people are not going to be like they're not going to be like favored of in any way when we are actually still the majority, and so it worries
It's not
me.
gonna be good.
Well,
Huh?
I would encourage people to speak out against white discrimination in the same way they would speak out against discrimination towards
Yes.
every race, but I don't know why it's important for us to be the majority.
Why do you think
it's
it's okay to be the
favoritism.
minority? When what world is being a minority somehow like a good thing? Like, are you white?
Yes, I'm white.
Are you white?
Yes,
I'm white.
he's white. He's like the
Why
whitest
are you-
person I
okay,
know.
so then
Like,
why-
I
okay,
did
listen,
my
listen,
DNA
wait,
test, I'm
hold
like
on a second.
99%
Hold on, everyone,
white.
shh. Everyone shut up because I want to talk about this because you're the prime example of what I'm fucking talking
Okay.
about, where white people are doing this to themselves and they don't seem to realize that like the stuff that they're pushing is going to backfire at some point. If the propaganda is so fierce that white people are like so anti-white, and you are literally proving my point. Thank you very much.
Wait, how is me not caring if I'm a minority, me being
You're
anti-white?
not realizing that this is going to
Why does,
backfire
like, why
on you.
does the
You're
country-
you're trying so
wait,
hard to please
I would love-
like these minority groups that
I'm
are
not-
like you feel this like white guilt towards that you want
don't
to
have
make
any
sure
white-
that you're making them all so
I don't think
happy and-
You were projecting.
I don't
a
think it's
lot
about
of
white
opinion-
guilt.
You were projecting a lot
Yeah.
of opinions onto me
what
that
I'm
I did
seeing.
not
This is
say.
exactly what I'm seeing. I'm sorry.
Okay,
but this
okay,
is what
okay.
I'm-
Why is it? My question is, why is it important for the country, America, to be 50% white and 50% other races? Why can't?
Why is that okay? Well, again, what are we right now? Do we know it's like what 59%?
Look, what do you mean? America was 95% white until 1965.
That's
That's
not
not
even
true.
true
Always been
either.
white
We've never
That's
been
not
over
true.
90.
400 years. Oh,
I'm
no,
not
they-
saying.
I-
I'm not.
It was-
my
it was
argument.
84
My
something.
argument.
90%,
My
I don't
argument
care.
is that
Yeah,
white
ignore the
people
numbers,
shouldn't
you
be
can ignore the
treated
numbers.
like shit. My argument isn't that white people should be treated like shit. My argument is that why can't we treat white people as well as every other race the same? Why is it important that whites overtake every other minority in terms of population?
It's not like it's because I feel like there
Because
will be.
white people built
Go
this
ahead.
country. Because white people built this country, man. This is it's the same with Europe. It's that different ethnic groups have different stories, right?
Okay.
If you're an African American, your story is that your people were probably colonized and they're enslaved or whatever, brought to America against their will by white people, whatever. If you're a white person, your story goes all the way back to Rome and Greece, and there's like all of that history of the upbringings of the civilization that you grew up in, the culture in which you were brought, the whole fabric of the society.
Well,
That goes back all the way to those ancient civilizations in countless ways.
why?
The iconography is in our courthouses and
Okay,
stuff
I
for
get it,
that
but-
reason. So we have different stories, and white people, their cultures that they had at least, which are like now being dissolved, are what led to these great civilizations to be the way they are in the first place. And so when they are just like removed and replaced by people of different cultures, the country's going to look more and more like the
Well-
places where they came from.
Nobody's forcing to remove white people. It's just happening naturally, right? Like, it's happening naturally. No one's, like, killing white people in mass.
No, not at all. That's why
They're not having
Brittany
kids.
says I'm against immigration and I don't want it to happen, and everybody
Also,
attacks her for it. What are you talking
also,
about?
why-
Of course it's being forced. Brittany's being forced, and she wants it to stop, but it's being forced. So it is. Well, I don't know
Wait,
why you
white
would say
people
that.
We
at all.
never
Can
voted
all
on
lined
this
up?
too, by the way. We never agreed to having
Yeah.
this kind of mass immigration that
Yeah,
is
we never
happening.
got a vote on
This
it.
is literally
Okay.
one of the
Here's
primary
my
election topics
question. I
every
would love
single
to
election
continue
time.
the
We never
conversation.
voted on it
Uh,
to have people
It's
coming
part of
in.
what.
I-
It's part of when you go to the
Wha-
polls.
here's
Every
my
election.
here's my next question then.
Never-
Why is it a big deal?
a hard seller act in
Why is it a big deal if other races live in a white-built country and then whites don't become the majority? Why does it matter?
I mean, I already said.
I mean,
this is
if
because
it becomes like 1% white and like we're completely purging
Oh
all
my
culture, I
God.
agree. But why does it matter if it goes under like 40-50%?
Because okay, so two reasons. Well, one, the level of immigration is only increasing, and that's being
Okay.
advocated for by, believe it or not, immigrants and their descendants.
Yep.
And so that's going to be increasing exponentially. And secondly, because of the birth rates, we're being overtaken as a demographic in that realm as well. And so that's only going to be increasing. Absolutely. So it's going to be like an exponential curve to like 49% is not so far from 20%, 10%, 5%, 1% than you think, man. Like, if everything keeps going along this trajectory, it's not just like going to be, in 400 years, maybe we'll be, 30%. That's like 50 years from now.
I mean, can I ask a question? You said
Why
you
is
said like,
somebody in
well,
here that's
wait, hold on,
deafened, by the
hold on.
way?
Just you said like, well, if it goes down to 1%, I agree. Okay, well, if you go down to 1%, you agree. But why is it at 1% that you agree? What is the point?
And
What's
what
the difference
percent-
between those? I
yeah.
mean,
Because
well, not, but let me
then
ask
I
this
feel
way,
like
yeah.
if it gets to 1% at that point, the only way it can get to 1% in like recent time, like if it happens in like 2,000 years, okay, whatever. But if the only way it can happen in recent time is if we actively try to purge white people from the country, which is not happening. So
We're just mixing, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's still more white people.
Yeah.
Everybody's white. Yeah.
So,
I think that will happen a lot.
did you have any other larger points, or would you get to Bowblax before we move on?
Well, my main point, just to summarize, is like, I don't think it's a big deal if white people become a minority.
God, you were me like 6 months ago, dude. Have a few conversations
You know
with
what?
Leo. He'll
we should
he'll say
make
so.
Native Americans
Everyone
over
gets there.
50%. They were born here. Let's make them over 50%.
Mhm.
Also,
Based.
yeah. There you go.
Let's go to.
I
let's
just
go
don't
to-
see it as a big deal. Like, if I become, like, a minority and I walk down the street and I don't see, like, a white person for, like, 20 minutes, like, I'm not gonna cry. Like, I don't give a fuck.
No, you're
Like,
not. But
people
what
are
if there is
people,
a
and I don't
Bowblax?
think race is
Bowblax.
that important. But
Bowblax, hi.
Hello?
What if there is some kind of racial revenge that does happen?
then we should fight
What-
against it. We should fight against racism
Who,
always.
what side are you going to be
regardless.
on? What side are you going to be on?
Equality. I'll be fighting
Like,
for
for
equality.
equality.
If people are
no.
discriminating
Like, if
against
there's
white
somebody- if
people,
there are-
I will be on.
Excuse me.
I don't
What
see
if there
some-
is a,
Mhm.
if there's a racial revenge and they are like coming for any white person? What side are you going to be on?
I'm gonna be against people.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, man?
I will be against people trying to get rid of people for their race.
Yeah, I wanna ask you
fight
about this. Hold on, I
alongside
wanna ask you about this,
Brittany's brother.
Brittany. Brittany, what do you think about these sides, right? So you imagine this race war, right? Just draw it out for me quickly. What are the sides that are in here, right? There's a conflict. There's gonna be multiple groups. What are the groups that you imagine are gonna be here?
I think that every single racial group in this country has a common enemy, and they are white people. And I think that's because we are teaching people we're bringing in all these different types of people, and just the only group we're teaching about how bad they are is white people.
So
We don't do that about any other
Asians,
group.
Asians and blacks and
I'm
reds,
not
and
sure
all of them
technically about
are going to
Asians,
grow. Are going to have. No, I want to because like
She
you guys
answered
keep
this
saying
question earlier.
Okay,
She
yeah,
said
sure.
that there's three groups. She said there's white people, there's non-white people, and then there's white people who are going to help the non-white people kill black people. I mean, kill white people. So those are the three groups.
You know,
And
there's
that's what she
gonna be
thinks. That's what she thinks this person is. She thinks
Wow.
this
She thinks
person
that
is
there's
a
going to
white
be
person.
no
Definitely
non-white
myself.
people. There's going to be no non-white people who are going to be pushing back against,
Will you
white people being
defend
lined up and
Stardust?
killed.
Will
She
you
thinks the
defend little
white
Timmy
people who are.
Stardust?
Hold on,
I
hold on.
would
be clear.
defend
And you
Bowblax.
also
Yeah.
think
Little
that
Timmy's honor, Stardust.
minorities.
Stardust.
Will
It's just
you
white people
stand
against everybody. That's it.
Are you
It's
standing
everybody.
solidarity with little Timmy, Stardust?
No, Stardust. She thinks
The
that
used
white
to be the
people
girls standing
are
in front
going
of the
to be the
tank,
push
the
for
the
this.
BLM
She thinks
tank
that
that's
white people are
marching
going to
down
be the
on-
ones that are trying to get rid of white people.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. All
I'm
right, so-
sorry. I'm so sorry, GSU. I couldn't hear it because Mio was going on in the background as well.
She
I
thinks,
couldn't help
she
myself.
thinks
I'm
white
sorry,
people
man.
are going to be the group that is trying to help all the other minority groups hurt white people.
Yeah, I think, what's his
Well,
face?
I stand with BLM, and that's Bowblax Lives Matter, okay?
Hell
As well
yeah.
as, you know.
I'm just saying that, I'm just saying that this in itself is racist, and that, you would think that if those are the sides that you're drawing, right? Well, then that all minorities would, at some point, go into a homicidal rage against white individuals. I mean, that's the racist part that I'm thinking about, right?
Maybe
That,
like,
Okay, here's the
this
question.
racist war. This no, right,
Yeah.
right, because we don't.
Yeah.
all
Never
think the
mind
same
that,
way.
like-
That's like a racist. Even in itself, that's
Well, here-
super racist.
here's
Hold
the
on,
way-
not Mio, Brittany. I want to talk about Brittany because this is a racist thing that
Just
Brittany
left.
is. Brittany, this is a racist thing
Oh,
that
wait.
you hold, right?
Okay, what?
That you think that all minorities would have a homicidal rage, go into a homicidal rage at some point,
Every single
and
one.
then
But I
Huh?
think every single racial group does have a racial grievance against white people.
yeah, sure.
Very-
But do
Okay.
all of us, all black people, in this
No.
scenario? No.
No.
Okay.
This
All
guy
right.
in the
So
top
then.
left is pretty
So all right.
Yeah,
I'm
y'all
able
missed-
to, I'm
y'all
able
missed
to
a lot.
like, I'm
Y'all
able
missed
to
a lot
like
before we got
separate
here.
like individuals from certain groups of people.
Okay. So let's continue on.